Merry Meet, Annie here. I have been wanting to do a video on altars for months and months. Oh, it's been quite some time ago that our Rin of Light, our friend Rin, put up a video where, as part of the video, she asked, why do we have altars? I've actually had that floating around in my head ever since. I think it was back at the beginning of the summer, and there were some interesting videos that I saw that people had put up about that. So I thought that as I'm about to change my altar, I would speak a little bit about what altars have come to mean to me. I used to always have seasonal altars that I would change out for every one of the 8 holidays and focus on the feel and the decoration and the energy, the power of that particular holiday. I was pretty persnickety about them. I had certain things I put out every year that had become old friends to me, and I never changed my altar before the day of the holiday because I believe the energy of the holiday is from that moment forward, so I wouldn't put it out ahead of time. I had like a schedule I followed and certain things I did, and I'm not making light of that. I did it probably for 30 years that way. But a few years back, I needed to simplify my altar life. I think one of the reasons is I got to a place in my life where I was able to powerfully recognize that my house is full of altars. It's full of places that hold certain things that have memory, certain things of beauty that I appreciate, even seasonal things that come out and go according to the season of the year. And I felt like I was surrounded by altars. And I really gave thought to what is the altar in my meditation room. So one of the things that I would say when we think about our altars is, why do we have an altar? Is it a working place? Is it a meditation place? What does it mean for us individually? We may not be somebody who needs formal altar space. Setting up something temporarily to do it working, being outside and having a place that we go to. There are things which satisfy that very, very need. For me, why do I need an altar? To me, it is my place of meditation, my place of quiet. It's a place I come to, an intentional stepping away from the craziness, the busyness, the noise, the mundaneness of life, to a place set aside. Just as we set aside, in an official sense, the space that we cast our circles in, to me, my altar is a place set aside. It's a microcosm. It's a microcosm of my beliefs. It's a microcosm of the universe as I see it spiritually. When I lay my hands upon my altar, I am truly entering another place, a place set aside. Whether it's just to be with it for quiet meditation, sometimes it's simply to light a candle and be with it in the sense of being in the presence of beauty because it pleases me, or whether it is because of a spiritual working or a devotion that I am intending to do. It's a place set aside. My altar has gotten a bit sophisticated over the years because I have the room for it. And I've collected things over the years that just need to be on it and feel good to me. So why am I doing this video at this time of the year? I do change my altar twice a year. I have my light altar and my shadow altar. This is my light altar. I get the urge to do this somewhere in between Imbolc and Astara each year. I get the urge when I feel rising in me what is rising in the natural world. Whenever I feel my personal sap has started moving, then it's time for me to set out my light altar. At this turning of the wheel, I'm feeling the need to go quiet. I will spend more time meditating, quietly journaling. I will spend more time with divination. I will spend more time simply being. So I thought that I would show you the transition of my altar from light to dark to let you know why I do what I do twice a year. So let's visit my altar now, which is my light altar. God and Goddess stand together on this altar. They're actually going to stand on opposite sides when I redo the altar. I think of them as the couple through the light side of the year, and when we move to the dark side, I know that he is in the underworld and she stays here to encourage and guide me. They each have their own place of power, that place that they come from over the dark time of the year. The colors need to change. I need to go to something that feels deep and calming and quiet. The colors will change. It needs to get simpler. And most importantly, my mirror will come out. There is a mirror on my altar now. It's the mirror I use for the light time of the year. I like a mirror on my altar for divination work, for mirror work, and smoke and candle work. And I also like it for the simple reason that it casts candlelight through the room. And I get much more light to work by if I don't want to have any electricity on in the room. This mirror will go away. It's my mirror for the light time of the year. And out will come instead my witch's mirror. That mirror I work divination with over the dark time of the year and sit in front of it for meditation. It's a very important part of the shadow time of the year for me. So there's our last look before I take apart and reassemble my altar to welcome, be prepared for Mabon ritual I'll do later this week. And so here we have my shadow altar. It will be here now as I prepare for Mabon, and somewhere between Imbolc and Ostara I will get the urge to take it down and go back to my lighter workings. One of the big differences to me working with it is the fact that God and Goddess are now on either side of the altar. My witch's mirror is in the middle. I do a lot of divination work after Mabon, up until Imbolc, with my witch's mirror. I'll do candle work and smoke work, water and oil work, and gazing. On this side of the altar we have her candle and Hestia's candle, and of course Hestia is there. Sophia, of course, is on my altar all times of the year, and there is also representations behind the purple candle, which you can barely see, of Parvati and of Ome the owl. My wooden pentagram takes front and center. In the dark time of the year, underneath of it is my stained glass one, which I still use when I need to place something on it, use it as a plate, use it as a place to make blessings. But the working that I do is on the wooden one. My stones for divination, my incense, the candle for the god, and of course my statue representing the god, and my blade. I take my blade off my altar and keep it in his lap over the dark time of the year. The reason is that I need this space. This is what I need over the dark time of the year. I need quiet. My altar isn't busy. I don't do a lot of workings over the dark time of the year. And this, to me, is a place of quiet and reflection. So we have the altar that reflected the bright, light side of the year. And we have the altar I will use for my meditations this week as I prepare for Mabon, and which will be with me over the dark time of the year. So that's what I do with altars. If I want to do a specific altar for Mabon, particularly, say I wanted to set up something that was specifically decorated, specific workings I wanted to do, I actually will set up my small working table, turn it into a mini altar, and I will keep it up as long as I need to, but it will not stay up permanently. Actually, usually they're only up for the night of a working, or if the working takes more than a night, until the working is completed. I need a place to return to for morning devotions and evening devotions, which I know well, and which brings me a sense of, shall we say, quiet. And that is what this altar and its light version do for me. There is how I handle altars, and the reason that I put one up. A place for meditation, devotion, a place for stepping away from, for being with, that release, that feeling of being part of the cosmos, of giving up place and time, even if it's just for a moment during the day. I wish you all mirth and reverence. Merry part.